Hey guys, in my fingers right here is a tiny little spacer. And this goes into the Red Cat Gen 8. Now, in a previous video, you saw me strip out the pin area on the transfer case gear. What this is supposed to do is actually be a spacer between the drive shaft and the bearing and actually pull that pin into the gear and keep it from possibly slipping. So, let's see if this little piece goes in place. Okay, so you can see the spacer, and I printed this. We'll have a link in the description below to Thingiverse, so you can print this yourself. It's just 3 millimeters, wide, 5 millimeter diameter, and here it is again. It didn't get lost. And I printed this in white so we could actually see it. Now to get this thing going, you got to remove some screws. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I know there's one underneath there that you got to get out. And then you pull the whole battery tray right up and out, and then you have access to the transfer case. It uses a 2 millimeter hex. With the battery tray out of the way, there's your transfer case. There's a spacer, and it goes right in between this. Now for you guys, you just pull the transfer case out, remove this, which these can be a major pain. You may need some heat on that set screw. Red Cat is known for really thread locking the heck out of these things. So I'm going to actually show it to you out of the transfer case so you can see exactly how it fits and what it does. Okay, with the transfer case off, you're going to take your printed piece and you put it over the part where the drive shaft out of the transmission goes. It fits just like that. Then the drive shaft goes on. Make sure you align the pins. And as you can see, there's a little bit misalignment there. That's because you pushed the shaft back into the transfer case there. So we're going to stick something in there and just kind of pull that shaft back out so you have no play at all there. Then you can got to find the threads, and this goes right into here. You kind of got to push on it a little bit now because it's supposed to be tight. And at that point, there you go. There's no movement at all. The pin is pulled into the gear. So now I'm going to take the transfer case apart and actually show you guys how it's working. Okay, so what this spacer is doing is it's pulling the pin into the gear. It's kind of forcing the pin into the gear. Now this is the steel gear. So I'm going to show you with both this gear and the plastic gear. Now the spacer pulls this tight, but it's on the inner race of the bearing and it does not affect the outer race. So it doesn't add any friction at all to the drive line. And that pin is firmly secured now. It can't move anywhere. This is the plastic gear and that pin is firmly secured with that spacer in place. Now on mine, the actual pin actually came back a little bit through that slot and just rounded itself a nice groove around the entire gear. With this in place, it does not move, it's firmly secured, and would actually be an awesome way to get your plastic gears to survive some abuse. And at this point, I've got everything put back together and ready to go back in the truck. And yes, that spacer is staying in place. I did put the steel gear back in because, well, I got them. So, here we are. So long as you have a printer, that's a free mod. A free, simple, easy way to add a little bit more strength to your stock drive line. Now, I can see staying with the plastic gears because they're not as loud as the steel gears. So if you don't want more noise, but you do want more strength, then this little piece will get you fixed right up. In the description below is a link to my Thingiverse page. I've only got one file on there, and it is this spacer. So click on that, download it, print it, put it in. It's as simple as that. Simple job. unbolt, rebolt, install, and you don't even have to take your transfer case apart. I just did that to show you guys how everything sandwiches together, and you know, just to show you guys what it actually does. So guys, hopefully this helps you out, and thank you all for watching.